together and share what you have so that the others can benefit. I was told that managers are those who ensure that things are done the right manner, and leaders are those who know what are the right things to do. That's the difference. It is you who ensure things go rightly. It was with certain reservation when Preeta walked into the office and they said, I have to come here. And I said, what am I going to talk to such learned people, members of the, who are already doing so well in life, and some members of the academia who are here. And she said, we are going to have this session on Northeast. And I thought that's something which I think I can put across in a different perspective, because it is you all who will have to exploit what we have in our Northeast. I'm not going to go into too many statistics of what is available in Northeast. All those who are aware know what kind of rich natural resources we have. You know the type of hydro potential that we have. You know the potential in terms of which can be harnessed where the human resources are concerned, and the unique location of our northeastern region. If you were to look only at Asia, in which Southeast Asia is on one side, West Asia and South Asia are on the other side, you will find our northeast region is right in the center. And it has connectivity. It has got good connectivity. And the way we look at it is that it is an area which tomorrow can become a real powerhouse for every possible thing where India is concerned. There are problems out there, problems which have come up because of certain historical and governance reasons, not otherwise. People have not been exposed to things by which they can do well, but wherever they have gone, and some of them may be working in your organizations, you know the type of hard work they can do, you know the type of ability that they have. Today Manipur has got a very large number of, you are going to think of sportsmen, but a lot of IT professionals, very large number. But they are not working in Manipur because there are no avenues available to them to work in Manipur. They are working elsewhere. Similarly, pick up any state and you will find we have a tremendous potential. And this potential, if exploited correctly, if nurtured properly, can get us good results. I personally think that development of any region has three facets. There are other facets which cling to these three. First is infrastructure. If you want development of any area, infrastructure must come up. Roads, railways, air. If there are rivers, then internal water transport, access to sea so that the trade can carry on, connectivity with rest of the country and the neighbors. If the infrastructure is weak, the progress will be weak, and that is why we have seen that because infrastructural development has been weak in our northeast, things have not progressed the way they should have progressed. The second facet is education. If people are not educated, they cannot make use of the infrastructure that you will create. If people are not educated, they cannot get employment, nor can you create employment opportunities for them. And therefore, creation of educational facilities at all levels is important if you want to develop an area. The third thing is the health sector. If people are not healthy, you will not find work for them. If people are not healthy, you will not be able to utilize the type of human resource that is available. And hence, anything to do with health sector which enhances the health facilities, which enhances the upkeep of the human resources is important. And with these come, how do you develop skills? How do you do capacity building? How do you ensure that employment is generated? How do you ensure that industry comes in? How do you ensure that the agricultural issues come up? How do you ensure that what is produced can be evacuated from that area so that people benefit? There are large areas in our northeast where during season, pineapple is probably, you can buy 5 kgs for a rupee because it cannot go out. The whole system doesn't exist where it can be evacuated out for use somewhere else. For example, in Chennai, where probably the cost is too high. Same is with various things in northeast. And therefore, if we have to develop this area, you have to look at it as an integrated whole. Now, when I say integrated whole, it doesn't mean that we classify the entire northeast and say 7 sisters and we forget about it. It's not 7 sisters. It's actually each state is unique. And you have to utilize that uniqueness of each state to develop it the way you want to develop so that things move in. What are we looking at as a ministry that looks after development of Northeast? Now we are looking at how do we give a push to infrastructure, and that is why we are liaising with the Surface Transport Ministry, we are liaising with the railways, we are liaising with the civil aviation. We want to ensure that we should be able to create an infrastructure which allows good movement of men and material in this area. We are looking at enhancing educational facilities by ensuring those things coming up there for which people have to run outside the states. I'm looking at centers of excellence coming up in the various universities that exist. And I'm looking at what we can do to develop the faculty, because that's a major issue where our Northeast is concerned. A lot of people think it's too far away. They don't want to go there. In fact, there was a time when anybody who was posted or was asked to go and teach in Northeast, whether it was a school or a college, thought he was on punishment. Now that has to go out. And once our infrastructure becomes better, I'm sure we'll be able to do that. We are looking at greater amount of employment generation by a much greater push for skill development. In this, we are seeking assistance from anybody, whether it is public sector or private sector. I have great faith in private sector because I think they have much more at stake when they take on a job. And therefore, we are inviting anybody who can come out there, do skill development, take those people or create facilities where these people can be employed. We are looking at more health sector facilities coming up. And as part of our skill development, what we have found is that this area, people are very good and they do extremely well in hospitality industry. They do extremely well in anything related with the health sector, whether it is the nursing sector or health workers. They do extremely well where any other thing related to this field is concerned. We are looking at MSMEs coming out there. My personal experience has been Larger the industry, more the issues that come up, more the problems and challenges that come up. You require larger land. Most of the land out there is tribal. How do you get hold of the land? You require more capital. You require more manpower. And probably MSMEs have got more chances of success, as also MSMEs have got more chances of giving employment to locals from there who can work out there. And therefore, skill development has to be so done that it enhances the MSME field. We are trying to see that our connectivity with the neighboring countries becomes better. We are trying to push the great Kaladan project, which has been languishing for quite some time, so that we are able to provide a sea route. We have a very friendly dispensation in Bangladesh today, who understand our requirements and also understand that it's a historical flaw that that area is separate today. Otherwise, everything of our northeast was connected through Bangladesh. Today, we are being given assurance that if we want to utilize port facilities in Bangladesh, they would be available to us. Aim is that we should be able to enhance production. We should be able to enhance those things which will make the lives of those areas better. We are trying to ensure that power requirements become better. You all are aware that Arunachal has got a potential of more than 50,000 megawatts, not exploited so far. There are various issues in it. Besides that, it is possible to utilize, besides hydropower, also utilize alternate sources of energy. We have promised the chief ministers, when I met them, that we will get them 2,000 megawatts of clean energy in next 1 year. It is possible. Today, their deficit is about 800 odd megawatts. If we were to give them 2,000, I'm quite sure industry will be very happy to go there. We are also trying to ensure that as part of our reach into that area, certain BPOs come up in those areas. NESCOM has already done a study. They have come up with 3 places where they can establish BPOs. We are encouraging them. Aim is that all the boys and girls who work in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and any other place in BPO should be able to find a job not very far away from their home, so that this area can become a hub. Those of you who are familiar with the BPO industry would know that today Philippines is becoming a bigger hub for BPOs than what India is. And we have the potential available in the human resources of our northeast where they can match anything. Once that starts coming up, we'll find out. One thing which remains at the back of mind of anybody who wants to invest in northeast or wants to do business in northeast is security issues. Everybody says area is unsafe. Well, some areas are as unsafe as Sarojini Market is in Delhi. If there can be a bomb blast in Sarojini Market, so can there be in northeast. Otherwise, it is reasonably safe. If you look at Assam, there are only 2 groups, weakened, and mostly their activities are probably what is prevalent in other states where we say there are dacoits. They're extortionists. They extort in the name of some group. And there are only 2 groups, one in the Bodo area, one in rest of Assam where Paresh Barwa's group is concerned. If you go to Arunachal, there's no problem. If you go to Nagaland, extortion, yes, and it can be tackled at a certain level. It's, I was told it's very clean extortion, and all those people I've interacted with, they say it is deduction at source, with receipt, not without receipt. Receipt is also given out there. You go to Mizoram, there is no problem. You go to Manipur, in the valley area, you do have extortion, and where people are not are resisting that, 1 or 2 incidents do happen. But otherwise, things are going on pretty well. Meghalaya is okay, Tripura is fine, Sikkim is absolutely fine as part of our northeast region. So I do not find much problem for any investor to go into our northeast. Also, as part of our initiatives, we are trying to enhance agricultural output as well as making entire northeast as a organic hub. We are looking at greater impetus to horticulture and floriculture. We are looking at establishment of cold chains and irradiation facilities so that whatever we evacuate meets the international standards. And we are looking at the routes which connect us to rest of Southeast Asia. Now that's the vision that we have for our Northeast. And I'm quite sure that in the coming years, it is not possible not to meet these standards. You can meet these standards provided you have the dedication and people like you supporting us. So with these, I finish whatever I wanted to say. If you have a question, it will give me a great pleasure in answering those. Thank you very much.
So if you want to raise a question, yes. Before you raise your question, raise your hand, state your name, and then give your question. Yes, please. Even if you're from the Northeast, you need a mic. Thank you.
The general feelings of Northeastern region is that I'm Subhabrata Sharma. I'm Honorary General Secretary of Guwahati Management Association. I stay in Guwahati actually. General feeling of the Northeastern region, just donor ministry has not done much for the development of that regions. You as a new minister, I think you will tackle the matters in a better way. This is my suggestion. And there are 4 ongoing schemes for years. That is Northeast, road connection, 4-lane road connections, 100 kilometers, more than 1,000 kilometers each year, 100 kilometers have not yet been constructed, not begin itself. And broad-gauge conversion from Lamding to Badarpur, and then Tripura, that has been not completed for many years, and Bogeyville Bridge. And there is, our suggestion is also to increase this conversion, double line, construction of double lane from NJP to Lamding, at least in the first stage. And I think you will take those initiatives. And there is a question that with the Chinese government, your government has made some agreement, but no this benefit is given to the Northeast regions. I think you will look into that matter also. That point was raised by Assam Chief Ministers.
See, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me tell you, I can tell you the timelines as to what has not happened in the last 15 years. I know of the railway track north of Brahmaputra, last 10 years, no progress. You mentioned the Lumding half-long Tripura-Agartala line. Let me assure you, by next March, it will be completed, the conversion will be completed. See, it's a question of understanding the priorities. Maybe we didn't have somebody who was able to look at the entire Northeast. Unfortunately, after my first posting in Northeast, I've gone there so many times to various states that I'm aware as to what is to be done and what priorities to be given. If we are able to push the various ministries, see, unfortunately, donor is only looking after how you can push various projects. And I can I have no qualms in saying that last decade, donor ministry had actually become what people would call a 20%, 30% ministry. That's the unfortunate fact. We were just dishing out projects. We forgot what was there last year. We approved projects the next year, forgot something. So today, there are large number of projects which have been languishing for as far back as 7 to 8 years, not completed, for various reasons. All this needs to be, this baggage has to be sorted out, and that is what is taking us a little time. I'm quite sure that if we are able to ensure that the 10% which 55 ministries have to spend compulsorily in Northeast, if we can guide them properly, and it's an astounding figure of 58,000 crores. If I play my cards right, I'm sure a lot of progress will come in Northeast.
All the best, sir. Sanjay? Okay.
So my name is Dr. J.S. Juneja, and you are the first speaker, Honorable Minister, since morning who talked about SMEs. Despite the contribution of SMEs in employment generation and exports and manufacturing development so on. And I agree with you about your perception that employment, etc. can be done through SME development in Northeast. Let me tell you, with Guwahati Management Association, Mr. Sarma already spoken, I'm All India Management Association, who am the past president and also chairman of SME committee. We did a convention in the month of May. I sent you the document on that. And I tell you, we address the issues confronting Northeast. Right? If you address some of the issues, particularly with respect to the infrastructure, financing, and marketing problem, I think you find there's a big proliferation, big development of entrepreneurs in Northeast India. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Juneja. Thank you very much. And gentlemen, I'm absolutely free to the idea of anybody writing to me or dropping me a mail, telling me these are our ideas and this is what can be done to enhance the initiatives in the Northeast. I don't consider myself to be the fountainhead of knowledge. I think knowledge resides in the collective wisdom that exists in our country, and there are plenty of people who are much more brainy and have many more ideas. You're most welcome. You're most welcome to give any ideas. It will be our job to look at them and implement them.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Sanjay Budia, and I am someone who has grown up in Assam, and that too from Tinsukia, so my heart lies there. Sir, I would start by what you said, that if you play your cards right, you will do it. And we have no hesitation in saying that, as in your earlier avatar as GOC Eastern India, you know everything, each nook and corner of Northeast, and Assam particularly, Arunachal, what you all mentioned, 7 sisters. Sir, I have 1 or 2 points, like we talked about trade and tourism. Arunachal, you know better. There are such tourist spots which we have not exploited. Places like Tawang, if people go there, it's more picturesque than any other place in India. But we need to develop proper tourist hotels and proper infrastructure, as you mentioned. And similarly on the healthcare, definitely there is a lot of scope and a lot of things to do. From our side, as corporate social responsibility, we have developed a healthcare facility with cardiology, radiology, and with so many things, a multi-specialty hospital in Tinsukia, and at some time we will take your blessings to have you there. I would say, sir, Assam and Northeast, entire 7 sisters, they have tremendous potential. Only one thing, and I have no hesitation in saying, which my brother from Guwahati said, there is some kind of silent feeling that we are isolated or insulated from the mainstream. That feeling needs to be integrated, that we are part and parcel of India, and the astronomical figure you mentioned, 58,000 crore, that is quite something. Sir, maybe with your influence, you need to take your senior colleagues to that part of the country. That is first and foremost, that your other colleagues should also go to Guwahati, Tinsukia and Dibrugarh. That will make the impact, and then people will see that we are there. That's what is very, very important. Thank you, sir.
I think, Sanjay, next time you should organize IMA's convention in Tinsukia.
Yes, please. This side of the room seems to be from the Northeast. It's a little northwest for us, though. After him.
I am from Lucknow. I am a senior journalist. I represent Shri News TV channel as a group editor. My question is, people staying in Delhi from northeast, they are always at receiving end. This happens only in Delhi, not in any part of the country. So you as a minister of northeast, any specific measures you are going to take to tackle this problem which is quite prolonging for so long?
What I would only say is, since we are talking of things northeast, this problem is north of Vindhyas. Delhi is part of that. Delhi is a different culture altogether. I think at times things happen because of the cultural issues in Delhi itself. Same thing probably in Chennai will never happen. The things are different. There are various measures being taken. The police has got a northeast cell. We are constantly liaising. See, there are a lot of things which don't come under the development of northeast. But as somebody who is looking after northeast, I do liaise with a lot of other people where law and order can be taken care of. We are also trying to see if we can start more places where our boys and girls who come from northeast can live in comparative safety. I don't know if you are aware, we already have 2 places in Delhi. The third hostel is going to come up in JNU. They are giving us land. We will finance it so that it comes up where all children who come to JNU can stay, at least 500 of them. Today there are 1200 odd students in JNU. We are looking at Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, all these places. But isolation into a place is not the answer. It is assimilation, and it is also education of people. Look here, this area is part of India and these people are ours. That feeling has to be created.
Yes, please. Next.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Sanjay Bahal, the Director Principal with Sai Institute of Management, Amritsar. So my question to you is, how do you see the transformation journey from the olive green, hanging your boot, and wearing this political boots and a nice jacket, number one? And second is, have your style of leadership changed from the olive green to the whites, or is it the same, or getting the work done? Thank you, sir.
I thought I would be answering a barrage of questions to Northeast. Since you have distracted me, let me just, okay, I'll put it this way. You know, when I was retiring, there were 2 options available to me. In fact, at that time, the only option available to me was to follow what everybody else before me has done. Play golf in the morning, curse everybody in the daytime, go for cocktail circuit in the evening, and say the country is going to dogs. The second option came up as the retirement time grew nearer. And I said to myself that for 42 years in the army, I've taken back things from the society. I've taken their love, I've taken their respect, I've taken their support. And probably after retirement, I should give it back. So I got associated immediately after retirement with farmers and the laborers. There was some organization which was dealing with them. And the reason was very simple. 98% of the army comes from rural background. So in this, I then started looking as to how we can reclaim India. And I started interacting with the youth. And somewhere down the line, towards end of 2012, I found that Annaji has been left by himself. People have walked away from him. So I got him into an organization that I created called Jantantra Morcha as a patron, to ensure that as part of our reclaim movement, we travel the country and tell people as to how to bring about a change, how to clean the political system. And once the Lokpal bill got through, so I told him, look here, I've got a major problem. Because so far now I've been talking and telling people, look here, we need to get cleaner people into the political system so that we can do things better. And people expect that I should become their voice. So he told me that you can go ahead. if people want it that way. But I had no intention of joining politics at that time. And it is somewhere down the line that I started thinking that if you have to do something, you have to get into the system. If you don't get into the system, you will not be able to, bring about whatever change you can, because then you are a nobody. And therefore I joined BJP, which I thought had a different ideology. And intention was still not to contest. I was told to